We're going to go ahead and get started with our program so that we're not here until all hours of the night. So I want to welcome you all to the 2021 Smoky Hill Residency graduation. It's so great to be in person this year, and I'm so thankful that the pandemic is at the point where it's safe to gather. I know we do have some people joining us virtually, and so I want to extend a warm welcome to them as well. This past year has been like no other in our history. A year ago, our COVID numbers were low locally, but we held a mostly virtual graduation because we weren't sure what the future would hold. We saw those numbers climb, and we worked hard to protect ourselves and our patients and to learn best practices for treating this new and unusual disease. While there are prognostic and predictive factors when a patient is infected with COVID, we quickly learned that each patient is different and the course of disease is difficult to predict. We triumphed with patients as they improved and were able to leave the hospital, and we mourned with families as patients lost the fight. Many of us lost patients during this last year, some from COVID, some from other causes, but the loss of patients over the last year has been more profound than any other year I remember. Some of us also lost friends and family to COVID. Because of this profound loss over the last year, I would like to take a moment of silence to remember those who have lost their lives. Thank you. As a residency, we learned how to adapt and change and manage through COVID. In addition to navigating the pandemic, the residency changed internally. We experienced loss in other ways that shook our foundation, but we came out on the other side and we survived. The entire residency demonstrated grit and determination. There are several examples in nature of things improving through adversity. The caterpillar has to eat and eat and eat to store up energy. It then goes into isolation and builds its chrysalis. The caterpillar's body actually uses its digestive enzymes and literally digests itself from the inside out as it transforms into a beautiful butterfly. Gold is another example. Gold ore is not valuable without going through the refining process. There are various methods, but all of them require heating or using chemicals to take away the impurities, leaving valuable gold at the end. In the same way, each one of us can come out more beautiful, more refined on the other side of trials. I am proud of the perseverance shown amongst the residents and faculty gathered here tonight. Tonight we are going to celebrate 5 of those individuals, our graduates. When they started residency 3 years ago, they had no idea the uphill climb that they would face during their last year of residency. They have made that climb and have arrived at this moment of celebration. Celebrating all the years of training, the countless hours of studying, the sacrifices made along the way. They have persevered through the thoughts of, I'm not sure I can do this, and can now look back and see that they did accomplish their dream of becoming a family physician. Thank you all for gathering here tonight. Everyone here has had a role in teaching these graduates, supporting them, and helping them along the way. I appreciate what you all have done to help them achieve this goal. Before we celebrate them individually, I want to introduce a few special guests, and then we will have the presentation of awards. So first off, our chef board members. So with us tonight, we have Angie Coble, Robin Cates, and Ramona Malone. If you guys just want to wave. Salina Family Healthcare is a federally qualified community health center. As such, our board is responsible for overseeing the operations of the organization, including the residency. To the members of the board, I want to thank you for being here tonight and supporting the residents. We thank you for your time and effort that you put in to help guide and direct our organization. Next, I would like to recognize Dr. Rick Kellerman, who is He's the chair of the Department of Family and Community Medicine at the KU School of Medicine in Wichita. KU Wichita is our sponsoring institution, and they provide oversight and guidance in everything from helping comply with ACGME regulations to offering research support. I appreciate Dr. Kellerman's guidance and support of the residency over this last year. Next, I would like to recognize Lucy and Mike Kohlhoff and Dr. Scott Owings from the University of Kansas School of Medicine, Salina. appreciate the partnership between the medical school in Salina and Smoky Hill Residency. We work together to ensure that both residents and students have the best learning opportunities possible in Salina. Next, I would like to thank our volunteer faculty. If you're a volunteer faculty, just Dr. Reed, Dr. Zuccarelli, Dr. Hessman, thank you guys for being here tonight. We literally could not train residents to practice in rural Kansas without the time that you take to dedicate to teaching our residents, and we greatly appreciate it. We'll now transition into the awards portion of this evening, and first up will be Dr. Amanda Ryan presenting the KAFP Award.
Good evening, everybody. The Kansas Academy of Family Physicians, or KAFP, gives an award each year to the physician who served as resident representative on the KAFP board. This year's representative was Dr. Mall. Dr. Mall, would you come on up here, please? Yeah. Be proud, that's all right. Established in 1948, the Kansas Academy of Family Physicians is the largest medical specialty society in the state with nearly 2,000 members consisting of active physicians, residents, and medical students. The KAFP's mission is to support and serve family physicians of Kansas as they advance the health of Kansans. Dr. Mull has worked tirelessly to advance the health of his patients while also advocating for the health of all Kansans across multiple platforms. He will be taking his advocacy, knowledge, and quiet demeanor to Smith Center, where he will be an incredible asset to many families that represent what rural Kansas is all about. Congratulations, Dr. Mull, and thank you for committing your time and talents to the KAFP board.
Okay, I'm Rick Kellerman. I'm here to give the Apple Award. But before I do that, I just want to make just a brief comment. There's an old sailor's axiom that when the seas are calm and smooth, anybody that steers the ship is a good captain. Well, over the last 15 months, it has been anything but calm and smooth waters. We have had 100-foot waves. The residency has gone through a lot of changes. We know about COVID. There's been racial strife, political turmoil, everything you can think of. And these third-year residents have been through all of that. And I just first of all want to congratulate all of the third-year residents and their graduation tonight. So just on a personal level, congratulations. And I want to recognize the captain of that ship. And that's the lady that's sitting right here, Kim Williams. These waves have been 100 feet high, and yet she has pointed the way. She has guided that ship. We can see the shore on the other side, and we'll make it to the other side. So congratulations, Kim, and thank you very much for the great job. Okay, now for the Apple Award. The students at KU Wichita who do rotations in Salina each year select a particular resident who is a good teacher. Not just a good teacher, but someone who spends extra time with them. And not just somebody that spends extra time with them, but someone who's an outstanding role model. Somebody that they want to emulate when they become residents and eventually go into practice. So we give an apple, okay? Ever since we were in kindergarten, this is symbolic. We give an apple to our favorite teacher. And this year, the students at KU Wichita have selected Casey McNeil to receive the Apple Award. Is he outside? Casey, get in here. I'm in here, I was going to save it for next year. You know, with the budget cuts, we could use this again. Congratulations. Thanks.
I'm going to read from a script because I'll probably say something inappropriate if I don't. Thank you. So bear with me. I'm going to be talking about the Teacher of the Year Award. So this attending, he has been immediately welcoming since he arrived here in Salina within the last couple years. He has always been willing to teach, and he has done so by drawing just beautiful, astounding images in the NICU. Anytime I give him a text, anytime I call him, or anytime we curbside him, it's any of us, he is more than generous to not just give us a quick answer, but spend time on the phone with us, give us a great explanation, which makes me feel smarter when I can go tell my patients, oh yeah, it's all of these things, for sure. I always appreciate somebody who can mix education with fun. It makes me want to keep coming back and learning from them, and this physician does so all the time and on the regular. So the residents at Smoky Hill would like to award Dr. Jacob Hesman with the Teacher of the Year Award.
Speech.
I think we can find a whiteboard.
I think it would be much more comfortable with a whiteboard and some markers. But I know that you graduating residents are going to have questions someday. Feel free to call at any time. But if you have any questions about bilirubin, then obviously I've failed at my job. But thank you all very much for this. I really appreciate it.
This one goes for people virtually, so.
Hello. Hi, I'm Leah Peterson, one of the faculty. Thank you. Thank you. That's the right response. So those of you that attend this annually know that I get really nervous when I have to give this talk. So tonight I'm presenting the STFM Teacher Award. So for those of you that don't know, STFM stands for Society of Teachers in Family Medicine. This is an award that recognizes someone who's good at not just teaching medical students, but also staff and peers. Our recipient tonight fulfills all those boxes. So, true story. Today, I'm sitting on the OB floor and have my head in my hands, and I'm like, this happens every year. I get really nervous, and now I have to recognize one of these fantastic residents, and I have to think of something fantastic to say about them, and instead it's going to turn into something that's lame and boring. And these three nurses walked by, and they said, well, who are you going to give the award to? Because they were like, you're in a bad place, and we want to help you. We want to help. And so I told them, and they said, that is the right choice. And I thought about it, and you know what? That's really all that needs to be said about this person, is that three random people will walk by and say, no, that's the person who teaches their patients, and that's the person who's excellent with staff. So I'm good until next year. And I'm really, really honored to present this award to Dr. Kendra Wright. Are we taking a picture? No, we're not doing that. Great, this was great. All right. I'll see you all next year.
Hello, my name is Danielle Blay, and I'll be presenting the Behavioral Science and Community Medicine Award. And this person, first I'd just like to thank this year's class for all the patients, all the work that you've done with our patients. I think family medicine is doing a lot of behavioral science work, and it's so exciting to see the residents that we have and the work that they're doing. So this year's award winner, I met as a medical student. And as Dr. Kellerman has mentioned, this year has been filled with strife, transition, and difficulties for a lot of our patients and us as well. And I'm just touched by the power of communication, using telephone devices, reaching out to patients, and also challenging us to increase the telehealth services and the supports that we do at a clinic to reach our patients. Dr. Teresa Nunez, would you join me?
Hello, good evening. I'm Scott Owings, and I'm here as a Woohoo! For the folks outside, you can hear? Give me just like a shoo! Give me something. We want to hear you guys out there a little bit. So I'm here to represent KU School of Medicine, Salina campus, and to present essentially our resident teacher of the year. And I talked to Krista, and she said if you could keep it at about 30 minutes, that would be great. So I'm gonna do my best. I haven't been back to one of these graduations for most of you know I graduated from Smoky Hill and was faculty at Smoky Hill, and from a personal level, it's good to be here. And the warmest and most sincere congratulations to the graduates. And you guys know this by now, but what a great residency program. And what's really neat is it's a family, and you know that now as residents, and I think you'll continue to experience that even as alumni of the program. It truly is a family. And I know with the school, a majority of what I feel like I bring to the school came from Smoky Hill in terms of trying to keep and maintain kind of that family atmosphere. And so I think we're doing a pretty good job, but the whole motivation was my experience at Smoky Hill, both as a resident and as a faculty. Do you guys still do the graduation award, Bob? Or I'm sorry, do you still do the Scholarly Activity Research Award? As needed, right? So it's periodically, because it's very well, it was so funny. So and Rick, I mean, all the folks that have done these for years, Bob would come up every year, and Free Love would be on before him, and he'd go, and he'd bend the microphone down, and he would start it out. And he would start it out. And now for the most coveted award of the evening. But I didn't see it on there, but it is. You can only give it so often because it is that coveted. Hey, Casey, Dr. McNeil, come back in here. We're going to give you a few more minutes of air conditioning, and then you got to. I don't know about you guys, but I'm glad I'm in here. That is hot. Yes. So the woohoo! So he's already aware of receiving this award. The med school had a banquet and recognized him, and it's nominated by the students, voted by the students, and I read through, their comments, and it's like Dr. McNeil is such a nice guy. He's a great teacher. He's very patient. He engages the students. Just blah 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 blah. But what was the most interesting thing that they reported was that he taught them how to wear boots and scrubs. That was actually in one of the comments. So all of the residents, doctors in here, we're always, I guess, vulnerable, right, in terms of learning and being taught by others. But it seems like at no point other than when you're a medical student, particularly a third-year medical student, and if you can take yourself back in time to that point, and you're just so eager and you're so enthusiastic, and you just, anything that somebody can teach you want to learn, nursing staff, residents, faculty, and for the students, sometimes you forget to be on that side of it, and I get to see that, and getting feedback from the students, hearing from them, the impact that not just Dr. McNeil, but all of the residents, the role that you guys serve in teaching the students. I just recently had exit interviews with all of the graduates, and it always came back to the residents in terms of teaching HMPs, just being thorough and just patient presentations. It really came back to the residents. So as a teacher of medical students and as a representative of the School of Medicine, thank you very, very much for teaching our students. They really appreciate it. And big thank you to you. Congratulations for being such a thank you.
I have one more, sorry. There's one that accidentally got left off our program. So our Chief Resident Award.
Scholarly activity.
I don't know that one. Yeah. I do have to say, Dr. Hessman winning the Teacher of the Year Award. So for a while we took our residents off of core rotations when COVID hit. So we were just covering kind of critical services. And when I told him, I said, hey, we're going to come back and the residents are going to be back. He was like, oh, good, because the nurses are so tired of me teaching them. He just can't help but teach. So as Dr. Ziegler was presenting that award, I thought of that. So our chief resident, Dr. Wright, go ahead and come up here with me. So every year, Smoky Hill residents elect a chief resident. They have a role of leadership. They act as a liaison between the residents and the faculty, which is sometimes a hard place to be. They have to gather the collective voice of the residents, which there's sometimes not a collective voice. There's sometimes a lot of opinions. And then they have to present that to the faculty. They sit in our faculty meetings, and when we make a decision about changes that might need to be made, they have to take that back to the residents, and it's not always a popular decision. So it can sometimes be a difficult role. They have other responsibilities in terms of scheduling and planning the retreat and other tasks. Obviously, as COVID affected everything, it affected scheduling a lot, and there's a lot of last minute changes and covering for people. And so I just want to thank Dr. Wright for her service to us as chief resident over this last year. She did an excellent job, and we are appreciative of all that you did. So let's give her. Okay, Dr. Ziegler, now you're up.
Kendra, feel free to come back and take your mantle anytime. Now the Above and Beyond award. Calling this year a roller coaster would be an insult to roller coasters. At times it seemed like a slog that was reminiscent of step one prep, and at times I would have rather been prepping for step one. It would have been easy to coast, easier still to give up, yet we residents at Smoky Hill were lucky to have faculty who were willing to continue to help us excel. They were there all times of day and night. They found ways of improvement and kept our education and futures in their minds. We weren't always appreciative of the generosity, but they continued to give. They gave us their time, they gave us their effort, their humor, their ideas, their quirks, their animal facts, and their feedback. Lots and lots and lots of feedback. I would like to thank Doctors Leah Peterson and Amanda Ryan for working their butts off this past year, and would like to present them with the Above and Beyond Award.
That's pretty awesome. Thank you. Oh, we got to get it together.
Speech.
Okay, now we'll have our presentation of graduates. So we're going in alphabetical order. So Dr. Mull, you are up. So as he makes his way up, Dr. Mull was born and raised in Stockton, Kansas. Growing up, he played football, basketball, and early on, he met his future wife, Haley. His interest in rural medicine started at a young age when he had an injury that needed evaluated. The ambulance took him to the regional medical center miles away from his home, and he remembers wondering why there wasn't a healthcare facility available closer to home. After high school, he went to Washburn for college and majored in biology. It was there that he learned about the Scholars in Rural Health program. You'll hear me mention that many times tonight. So the Scholars in Rural Health program is designed to identify and encourage undergraduate students from rural Kansas who are interested in building successful careers as physicians in rural areas. Through that program, he shadowed a new physician in his hometown and began learning about what rural family medicine entails. Dr. Mull attended the University of Kansas School of Medicine in Kansas City. While there, he participated in the Family Medicine Interest Group and the Rural Medicine Interest Group, and it was there that he solidified his desire to be a rural family doc. During medical school, he and his wife Haley welcomed the birth of their first child, Lincoln. I actually remember meeting Lincoln when he was a few weeks old when they came back for our annual callback recruiting event. I was impressed then with Haley's dedication to checking out our residency program and was surprised that she was there with her newborn. The weekend must have gone well because several months later, Dr. Mull matched with Smoky Hill. During his time in residency, he pursued his interest in family medicine, including OB, procedures, and emergency medicine. It was fun to watch Lincoln grow, and last year he became a big brother when Theo was welcomed into the family. Dr. Mull has been inspired by a couple of fellow physicians in his family, his brother Matthew, who was an ER physician in Wichita, and his sister Hannah, who's a family medicine physician in Smith Center. Dr. Mull will be joining his sister in Smith Center, where he will be practicing full-spectrum family medicine with obstetrics. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Stephen Mull.
All right. I'm going to try to stick to the script so we don't have another Kentness incident this year. As most of you probably know, I don't love talking in front of people, but there are a few people that I would like to thank that supported me throughout our residency journey. So first off, to all of the clinical staff at Salina Family, my nurse, MA, all of the clinical staff who helped me along the way. I'll just say hopefully the next Blue Team resident will be able to show up to clinic before 9:30. Thank you for always being nice to me when I was late and helping me to be a better doctor along the way. To our volunteer faculty, you all are the hidden gems of our program. I truly appreciate all that you've done for all of us throughout our training. I appreciate you trusting me with your patients, procedures, all of the teaching that you do, from the ER, ICU, OR, the PEDS floor, all the way to the OB floor. You make us the well-rounded physicians we are, and without you, we wouldn't be able to practice full-spectrum medicine in rural Kansas. Krista and Courtney, you both stepped into roles at an impossible time, and you both have done fantastically in the last year. Sorry my timesheets are never on time. I'll try to get those to you on Monday. On to our faculty physicians, Dr. Williams. I always appreciated you from the time you were my advisor at the beginning to your time as program director. I could always count on you to have an answer to any difficult question almost seemed like without trying. You've been a fantastic teacher, and I can't thank you enough. Dr. Reese, watching you transition from chief resident my intern year to faculty has been a joy. I always appreciate your advice on complicated or sick patients, and I appreciate the calm fashion that you almost always deliver it in. I don't think I've ever seen you excited, so thank you for that. Dr. Peterson, I'm incredibly grateful that you're constantly pushing us to learn, whether that's through new conference lectures, teaching on rounds, or everyone's favorite journal club. But most of all, I'm thankful for the random animal facts and YouTube videos you've shared over the last 3 years. Dr. Ryan, though you've been here for only a short amount of time, I appreciate you stepping in as my advisor, all that you've brought, and a different perspective, and I'm definitely going to carry that over into practice. To my co-residents, both past and present, you guys are what make this program what it is. You've welcomed our family, and I know that Haley has felt welcomed with open arms throughout our 3 years. Oh, I appreciate you all more than I know, and I'll miss everybody, even you, Dr. Lawless. To a few people who are no longer with the program, first Dr. Long. Words don't start to describe how thankful I am for everything you did for me during your time with Smoky Hill. You were always there for us, took care of my family, delivered Theo. We truly love you and appreciate everything you've done for us. To Karen, I hope you're watching. You are truly one of the top reasons we chose to come to Smoky Hill, from the first time that we met you to when you came to Kansas City to help us fill out our packet to start residency. You are truly irreplaceable, and we appreciate everything that you did for us. On to family. So Mom, all of my siblings, thank you for showing me what true work ethic looks like. Mom, I can't remember a time that you weren't giving everything for both us and your work, and I hope to take a portion of that with me into my practice. Lincoln and Theo, you've been my saving grace throughout residency, keeping me sane when I come home from a difficult day. It can be easy to get lost in the hectics of patient care and to let that go when you get home. But coming home to their smiling faces and Theo's colic always managed to distract me and help me forget about the difficult things and the things that I couldn't change from home. And finally, to Haley, I told you I forgot about you in my speech, but I didn't. I truly wouldn't be here without you. All of your support throughout medical school in the last 3 years have been incredible. If you've seen my desk at the clinic, you know exactly how organized I am. It would be about 4 times as bad if she hadn't cleaned my desk off several times in the last 3 years. Hopefully, as we move forward, you won't have to constantly shake me awake to say, hey, isn't that your pager going off, after it's been ringing for 20 minutes. I truly couldn't do what I do without you, and I look forward to the start of our life in Smith Center together. So thank you, everybody, for everything. I'll truly miss this program and have cherished my time here.
Next is Dr. Nunez. Dr. Nunez was born in Gorham, Kansas. Her family moved around, mostly living in small towns in Kansas and Nebraska before settling in Salina. During high school, she had interests in language, science, and travel. It was her interest in science and her desire to serve others that began her dream of becoming a physician. She then attended Wichita State University, where she majored in finance. She spent about 10 years in the business world working as a financial analyst before she decided to head back to school and pursue her lifelong dream of becoming a physician. She was inspired by her mom, who went back to school as a non-traditional student, proving that it's never too late to be the person you were meant to be. After heading back to Wichita State to do some pre-med requisites, she then attended the University of Kansas School of Medicine in Salina. While in medical school, she was part of the Family Medicine Interest Group and the Rural Medicine Interest Group. She was selected into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. This society recognizes third-year medical students who have displayed outstanding humanistic and professional behaviors and the highest standards of compassion and sensitivity in their interactions with patients, faculty, students, peers, and institutional administration. Dr. Nunez decided on family medicine because she enjoys the variety and wants to be able to serve a diverse population and also wants to be able to spend time with her own family. I feel like she was very wise in making this choice. A mentor of mine once told me that we went into family medicine, and there's a reason the word family comes before the word medicine. And he always told me, remember that your family comes before medicine. Dr. Nunez has really shown that. During her residency, she's developed her passions of working with underserved populations and using nutrition as medicine. Both during medical school and during residency, Dr. Nunez has shown poise and grace as she has balanced the demands of her career and of being a mom to Ariana and to Gabe. At times, I personally wondered if she figured out how to clone herself, as she seemed to be present both for her patients in the hospital, and then I would also see her at her son's soccer games. So if you have some cloning tips, Dr. Nunez, I could use those later. Dr. Nunez will be staying in Salina and joining Salina Regional Health Center as a hospitalist. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Teresa Nunez.
Thank you all for coming this evening and sharing in our celebration. It is truly such a joy to be together again with the Smoky Hill family. Just 3 years ago, I sat in the audience and listened to the graduate speeches and could not wait for my turn to stand up here. I was nervous and excited about entering residency, the next step in my journey towards becoming a doctor. There was no way I could have known the twists and turns that lay ahead. The journey started in 2011 when I sat down with my boss and told her that I planned to resign and pursue my lifelong dream of becoming a doctor. That dream is now finally coming true, and it would not have without the help and guidance of so many along the way. From those who wrote letters of recommendation, to the community physicians who allowed me to shadow, to the medical school and residency faculty, and all of the advisors and mentors along the way, I thank you. Are there any faculty members here who have not received a panic call from me in the middle of the night? Sometimes I just needed to hear it's going to be okay. Sometimes I needed to hear I'll be right there. Thank you all for being there. Actually, you each have brought something unique to my education. Dr. Peterson, you are my go-to person when I think there's some weird stuff going on and I can't make sense of it. You always listen and lend me your big brain to figure it out. You also never gave up on teaching me how to place a central line. Dr. Reese, ever since I was on shock with you as a medical student, I have appreciated your calm demeanor and no-nonsense approach. You served as an early example of me of how to remain calm under pressure. Dr. Ryan, it has not been since my days on a Six Sigma team at Boeing that I have seen someone work so hard or so fast at improving processes. Your energy and zeal for making Smoky Hill a better place is greatly appreciated, and you have made yourself an invaluable asset in a very short time. We're very lucky to have you. Dr. Reed. Hoo-wee. Thanks to you, hopefully when it comes to treating kidneys, I think I'll be doing pretty good. You have shown a genuine interest in helping us be better doctors and bridge the gap between theory and practical application. I appreciate you always being willing to take me on rotation with you. Dr. Long, you are a legend. I have seen you start IV fluids yourself on a patient who was crashing, talk a terrified patient through a necessary procedure, and hold the hand of a dying patient and be with them in their grief. You've been a source of wisdom and a beacon of light. No matter how stupid my question or how downcast my heart, you always knew what to say to help. I'm pretty sure I wasn't always amazing, like you said, but I appreciate you saying it anyway. Whether it's delivering babies, performing a bloodletting, or sterilizing a wild animal, those are all true stories, I'm pretty sure you can show us how to do it. For years to come, when we are in a pickle, we will all ask ourselves, what would Dr. Long do? Karen, shoot fire, I wish you were here tonight. You always somehow managed to make me feel like I belonged, even as a medical student, whether it was planning our careers, getting us a much-needed day off, helping us to get our stuff done, babysitting, or landscaping. You were always there for us. You helped us become better doctors without ever forgetting that we were people too. Lisa Keller, you were a huge support to me as a brand new intern. When you left, I thought all hope was lost. I was barely surviving clinic, and as it was, and I didn't know how I would get through without you. Then Krista came along and put my fears to rest. Krista, whether I showed up as good Teresa or bad Teresa, you helped me in whatever way I needed. Both of you offered the little mini therapy sessions between patient encounters that I needed to get through. The biggest thanks goes to my family. Mom, you always believed in me and supported me like only a mother can. You helped me with the kids, babysat my dogs, cleaned my house, traveled across the country, let me sleep on your couch. I actually made it a lot further than I thought I was going to, so. Okay. And you helped me make ends meet more times than I can count. You were the duct tape and super glue that kept this crazy train on the tracks. Jim, you were right there for every bit of it too. You filled a hole in my life that I didn't really know was there, and now I can't imagine our lives without you in them. And to my kids, Ariana and Gabriel, pause for dramatic effect. You were just in grade school when this adventure started, and as I have grown into a doctor, you have grown into amazing young adults. Ariana, you have been my right hand at home, my closest friend, my fashion advisor, a shoulder to cry on, and much more. I relied on you much more than I should have, and you never let me down. Gabriel, you have provided me so many medical learning opportunities, from asthma to sports injuries to burn wounds to oppositional defiant disorder. I love you, buddy. You have challenged me to be a better mother, doctor, and person. When the two of you tell me that you are proud of me, it fills my heart and makes everything worth it. And as much as I love being a doctor, being your mom will always be my greatest joy. There are so many more people that I could thank. Just like it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a whole community to make a doctor. I feel so blessed to have had this opportunity, and especially to be able to do it in this community, my hometown. The last 10 years have been the most challenging, engaging, and meaningful of my whole life, and I know that the best still lies ahead. Thank you all for making my dream come true.
Next is Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright was born and raised in Belleville, Kansas. Growing up around her mom's vet clinic, she became interested in medicine, and in high school she liked her science classes, especially anatomy. This led her to Kansas State, where she majored in human nutrition and biology. After watching her mom get kicked, bitten, and scratched by patients on a daily basis, she decided on human medicine instead of animal medicine. Little did she know that sometimes that still happens in human medicine. Fortunately, not usually on a daily basis. During her time at K-State, she shadowed a rural family physician and loved the variety and the personal connection that was made with patients. It was at Kansas State that she also met her future husband, Brent. Dr. Wright went on to attend medical school at the University of Kansas School of Medicine in Wichita. While a medical student, she was active in the KAFP and the Medical Society of Sedgwick County. She was selected to serve as a student ambassador and was elected by her classmates and faculty to the Gold Humanism Society. As we mentioned earlier, the society recognizes third-year medical students who have displayed outstanding humanistic and professional behaviors. Prior to starting residency, she and Brent got married and moved to Salina to begin their time at Smoky Hill. During her time in residency, Dr. Wright served as our chief resident. She developed her passions, which include OB, women's health, aesthetics, and breastfeeding medicine. During residency, Dr. Wright and Brent were blessed with the birth of their son, Brigham. Dr. Wright will be going to Onega, Kansas, where she will practice full-spectrum family medicine with surgical OB. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Kendra Wright. Yep. Next is Dr. Autumn Weir. Dr. Weir was born in Alva, Oklahoma. Her family moved around some in Oklahoma and Kansas, and she said if she had to pick a hometown, Lewis, Kansas comes the closest. During high school, she was involved in forensics, journalism, and was captain of the Scholars Bowl team. She has always loved science, and during high school, she thought she wanted to be a chemist until she stepped foot into the lab. Apparently, there were some fires, burns, and minor explosions, so deciding chemistry wasn't the safest thing for her, she began to think about other areas in science. Thankfully, her 11th grade English teacher assigned a year-long career packet project. He brought Dr. Weir the family medicine physician folder. It was then that family medicine clicked for Dr. Weir, and she's been on that career path since. She said that English teacher retired a few years back and now serves as the pastor of a local church. She has sent him several thank you cards over the years for getting her set on the right career path. After high school, Dr. Weir continued on that path when she attended the University of Kansas and majored in cellular biology. While a student at KU, she was president of the KU Scholarship Hall system and spent most of her time in organizations related to leadership development and student health. She served as a peer health educator specializing in sexual health, even teaching a bondage safety workshop. She was also involved in the Scholars in Rural Health program, and it was there that she met her future husband, Ryan. Dr. Weir went on to medical school at the University of Kansas School of Medicine, Wichita. During medical school, Dr. Weir was very involved in the JDOT Community Clinic. This is a clinic run by students to provide compassionate healthcare to people in need. Dr. Weir served both as the Director of Student Volunteers and the Director of Finance during her medical school years. After medical school, Dr. Autumn married Dr. Ryan, and together they started residency at Smoky Hill. While a resident, Dr. Weir developed her passions in medicine, which include women's health and wound care. Dr. Weir has been inspired by her mom, who was a single mom for 8 years with 2 kids and worked nights as a prison guard. Dr. Weir says that she's not somebody you want to mess with. Dr. Weir is also inspired by her stepdad, who accepted a very opinionated 12-year-old girl, which I can't imagine Dr. Autumn Weir being opinionated, and a rambunctious 10-year-old boy as his own. Dr. Weir plans on practicing in Hillsborough, Kansas, providing both inpatient, outpatient, and ER coverage. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Autumn Weir.
There's no way that I could say what Dr. Mall and Dr. Nunez haven't already said. And so I just echo those thank yous for the faculty and the staff and my family. As it turns out, those opinions continued. And so I just wanted to say, thank you.
Okay, and last but not least, Dr. Ryan Weir. Dr. Ryan Weir was born and raised in Iola, Kansas. Growing up, he was influenced by his mom, who worked as the director of nursing of a skilled nursing facility. He was touched by his mother's kindness and compassion toward the residents of the facility, and it was there that he first learned that every person has a story to tell.
Maybe flip to the next slide.
I think they're on a timer. Dr. Ryan attended college at Pittsburgh State University and majored in biology. During college, he joined the Scholars in Rural Health program, and it was there that he realized his calling for family medicine. He spent some time in southeast Kansas and saw how rewarding it is to care for a variety of people on the front lines of rural health. As mentioned earlier, this is where he met Dr. Autumn. Dr. Ryan went on to attend the University of Kansas School of Medicine, Wichita. While in medical school, he participated in the Family Medicine Interest Group, the J. Community Clinic, and Guadalupe's Clinic Church on the Street. He and Autumn got married and started residency at Smoky Hill. During his residency, Dr. Weir furthered his interests in medicine, which include addiction and behavioral medicine, geriatrics, chronic disease management, women's health, and inpatient medicine. Dr. Weir will be practicing in Marion, Kansas at St. Luke's Hospital and St. Luke Medical Clinic. He will be practicing outpatient medicine, inpatient medicine, and occasional ER coverage. Dr. Weir is looking forward to having some more time outside of medicine so he can spend time with his wife and family, spend time on a lake, and catch up on Netflix. He also told me he's hoping to add to their family with some chickens, goats, and potentially a carnivorous plant farm, but I understand those are still in negotiations with his wife.
I only proved the chicken.
Please join me in congratulating Dr. Ryan Weir.
I don't think I have a lot to say. Everybody's done a good job saying how we feel here at Smoky Hill. So I just wanted to give some gifts from the residents that are graduating to the faculty. So if I could get some help from some of my residents, that'd be great. So.
Okay. Next, we are going to have a video. So it's tradition at Smoky Hill that the first and second year residents put together a video for the graduating residents. It's often a little humorous and done in appreciation of their time here and in love. So I think that will get started.
Welcome to Channel 21 News.
With Kendra Reith in the community. Stephen Mole with sports. And Teresa Nunes with the weather.
And now our hosts, the Weirds.
Sorry.
Hi everyone, tonight we're going to be talking pool safety with Kendra Reith out in the field. Stefan Mole will be talking about local Possums baseball game, and Teresa Nunes will have this week's weather forecast.
Speaking of pool safety, I hope it's nice outside so I can sunbathe naked out by our pool. Sorry.
Anyways, off to Kendra Reith in the field.
Hello friends, this is Kendra Reith reporting live for Smoky Hill News. I'm here today with Dr. David Hansen. How are you, Dr. Hansen?
Hi Kendra, I am doing so wonderful today. Thank you so much for interviewing me. I just want to say, I just love your journalism, and I just think you're just a wonderful person, and what you do for the community is just amazing.
Oh, stop, Dr. Hansen. Thank you so much.
You deserve it.
Okay. So today, I want to talk to you about pools, all the pools opening for summer. How excited are you?
I tell you, Kendra, nothing makes me more happy than to see people just happy and giddy with excitement, getting ready to go in the pool and spend time with their families. I tell you, those are precious memories and just precious times for families all over.
I could not agree more, Dr. Hansen. So, do you have any pool tips, safety tips for us today?
I do. You know, Kendra, I think the first thing that's important is you gotta wear your sunscreen. You know, the last thing you want to do is get a terrible sunburn and just ruin your time out with your family.
Okay, I completely agree with that. So what about all the cute little kitties and puppies everyone wants to take outside, take to the pool? Do you have any tips for them?
That's such a wonderful question, Kendra. I tell you, this is why your journalism is just top notch. I tell you what, you know, the thing is with pools is actually the chlorine can be harmful to their little skins, and you really want to try to avoid it. In fact, I've actually printed off this article for you that I thought might be useful.
Thank you.
You were so welcome.
Well, I would not want to harm my little Bella P or Roxy, so thank you very much for that, Dr. Hansen.
My pleasure.
Any last minute thoughts for us today?
I think that's all I can think of right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Back to the weirds.
Thanks, Kendra.
I like that Dr. Hansen. He just seems so confident, and every time he talks, he's so smart, and his beard looks so soft. He seems like a nice man.
Now we go to sports with Stefan Mole to talk about last night's baseball game against the Possums and Jellyfish.
Ooh, jellyfish. They were in town? I've always wanted to touch a jellyfish. I bet it'd feel really weird between my toes. Sorry.
Hometown Boston. Definitely defensive. Jellyfish jump out. Possums did cut the cut.
Stefan, we're having trouble hearing you.
I'm sorry. That's probably my fault.
Possums get up, seeing me play more fire, motions. Eventually, Possums got look at I'm Stefan Mole with sports.
Thanks, Stefan, for the update on the game. Where'd you even get that?
Sorry.
Next, we will go to Teresa Nunez with the weather.
Good evening, Smoky Hill. Today we will discuss the new widget on the Smoky Hill weather page I developed. It's rather simple and it's easily converted from an Excel spreadsheet using a simple algorithm involving the anticyclone effects seen in the northern Atlantic and the daily barometric pressure changes in the Caribbean. You utilize the average temperatures seen in your area over the last 17 years, and we can accurately predict the weekly forecast, which brings us to our forecast for next week. We have a very beautiful Monday and Tuesday. In the evening, you will be able to open up those windows, get that fresh air in your house. Towards the end of the week, you're going to see some thunderstorms. We're going to have some rain for those flowers, and that will bring us to a beautiful weekend, 78 on Friday. Now, back to you, Ryan and Adam.
Thanks, Nunez, for the update on the weather.
I wonder if her weather thing is so smart. I was reading something locally about the local typhoons in the east coast of Japan having an effect on the weather all across the world. And it makes me wonder if it would have anything, if it could affect her 30-day forecast, because it's something that they've never seen. But also I read an article the other day that kind of mentions that every year something new happens in the weather, and it's hard to predict what exactly is going to happen. The world's just such an interesting place. Weird things happen all the time. It's the strangest thing. Sorry.
We're going to take a break, but here are some upcoming stories.
Coming up, we have a story about a provider who has a disturbing way of deciding who to treat.
Of course I'll save children, but not the British children.
Next, an entire neighborhood's shoes have suddenly gone missing.
Ma'am, have you heard anything about the shoe snatching in the neighborhood?
Shoe snatcher? No, man, these are my shoes. These are my chronic pain shoes. These are for Liberty Games. These are my Narcan education shoes. These are my doing a procedure at the clinic shoes. These are my doing a procedure at the hospital. These are my feedback shoes. I like to wear these every day. Residents love feedback. We need to get more feedback.
So you keep shoes like this every day in your car?
Yeah. Doesn't everyone?
Guys, that was fun to watch. I just have a few more comments, and then the night will be yours. So thank you again, everyone, for coming to help celebrate the graduates tonight. I want to say a special thank you to Krista Galvin. She has worked tirelessly to make this night possible. She stepped into the role of program manager this year and has done an excellent job. There have been so many times over this last year when I've been thankful to have you working at my side, Krista. I don't say it often enough, but I appreciate all you do. I also want to thank Courtney Flora, our residency support specialist. Courtney and Krista have spent hours planning, sending out invitations, arranging decorations, getting awards printed, managing RSVPs, et cetera, et cetera. Everything looks beautiful tonight, and it would not have been possible without all of your hard work. Thank you. As we close this evening, I know that the graduates did not travel this path alone. To the families and friends who are here tonight, thank you for supporting your graduate. Thank you for understanding when they missed that family event because they were on call or they were busy studying. Thank you for all the calls and texts that you sent throughout the years to encourage them and support them on their journey. To the core faculty and volunteer faculty, thank you to each one of you in the role you've played in getting our residents to graduation. There's a saying about taking a village to raise your children, and as a program director, I know it definitely takes a village to train and graduate residents. I'm thankful for the time you all give to teaching residents and the dedication you have to see each resident achieve their goals of becoming rural family physicians. To the incoming residents and the current residents, thank you for sitting outside in the heat. Not that you had a choice. Before long, it'll be you guys up here graduating and moving on. Thank you for all you guys do to support each other, from swapping calls to covering patients while someone's on vacation to sharing the knowledge that you gain and teaching each other. Thank you for supporting your fellow residents who are graduating tonight. And to our graduates, to each one of you, congratulations again. This truly is a momentous occasion to celebrate. As we heard tonight, for many of you, this dream started years and years and years ago, and you should be proud of the perseverance you have shown to get to where you are tonight. I wish you the best in the next phase of your career, and I know you will continue to uphold the great tradition of Smoky Hill Family Physicians. Thank you all for coming, and have a good evening.